Oh my god, like, I hate typing. Oh my goodness. Hi, buddy. Good buddy. Good boy. Say hi, Beanie. Say hi, Beanie. Say good morning to the world from Beanie. Beanie here to report that he's a good dog and I let him live in the place. Let Beanie live in the place of Beanie. Good boy, Beanie. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm heel empath, and I just like having these little talks and the way I feel about things. And that's Beanie. That's a big face Beanie. He's my biggest boy. It's about 38 pounds. We're slimming him down. We're going to get him down to 35. Everybody's under 35 pounds. Yeah. Yeah. You good boy. Yeah, everybody's in their feelings today. Mom's in her feelings. I almost got my feelings. I had to rise myself out above it. I'm like, no! Don't let the doldrums get ya. Don't let the glum lots get ya. When you start thinking about things that make you sad, think about things that make you happy. I was like, what? Really? I was having to talk here. You don't mind, right? Okay, get with you in a minute, boy. Oh, shoot. Here. Alright. I was like trying to communicate with Carl in a message. I'm like, why don't you just start the talk, and then you don't have to type. I'm like, man, because I type stuff out, and then I get typos, and then people are like, I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm like, I know, this is why I hate typing, and then I'm like, just start the live and tell them. So there. We just sorted that out. See how communicating is? I love communicating, man. I love commuting. Now we got Burning Ring of Fire, Johnny Cash going in my ear, so I need to turn that down a little bit so I can come down here a little bit. Getting all fired up. People are getting all... I want to take a moment and invite God into the room, into the chat. I want people to recognize from the very get-go, from the very beginning, I'm a person of God. I accepted God as Jesus Christ as my Savior back in, at birth. I always knew I was a spiritual being because I always tried so hard not to live from my ego. So that's a tell for me. I made all kinds of notes this morning. Woke up with a talk. He was ready and raring to go. I wonder when his birthday is. I'm going to ask him what his stats are over at Divided We Fall. I like him. He's Heyoka too. He knows what's up. Huh. And he's making his way too. And Kijin's helping, community people helping people, endorsing people that you care about and endorse what you support instead of, follow the money to hush money and all that stuff. 'Cause people have been dark and nasty and dirty for a long time, and other people are starting to jump up onto the join the program. Everybody's joining the program about the deprogram, about the new world disorder. Well, I'm trying to be comfortable in life here too, bah. I'm trying to be cozy too. Please don't lick my feet. It ain't that kind of party. No, I don't like it. No one calls me anyway. You know what? It's so funny because when I was a teenage girl, you couldn't get me off the phone. I was one of those. And you call one friend, and it's just always on, and you always, get off the phone! You're tied up, because, you only had one line, and then as people advanced in life, they got call waiting. I always got put on hold. Drop call. Oh, the call dropped you. Yeah, anyway, got some notes. This one came to me last night with all this electric car battery stuff that they're pushing. Electric. Like, I saw a new ordinance that weirdo in freaking California. I can't believe I'm going back there, man. I can't believe that I'm having such a hard time going there. You know what it is? It's all this VRBO and this bed and this Airbnb, this, getting more for less stuff. So you can't find rentals, and finding a place to live should not be this freaking hard. That's why there's tent cities are just getting bigger because people, especially single people, it's just so hard. But I believe in God because I invite him into the room every day. So, I was telling Mom earlier, when I started feeling way down, that's what I do. I just give it to God. When the worry starts to come in, that I get, I start getting twisted up. Oh God, I start thinking about all the stuff I got to do, all that stuff. I want to get rid of this emoji crap. I don't like that. There's the keyboard. There's back to the chat. Get that stuff out. I just like, ugh. But he's like, in 15 years, he doesn't want to have any gasoline burning vehicles in California at all. Like, I'm like, well, maybe I could figure out how to modify my big red truck, but I love that truck. So you're telling me I only got 15 years left with my truck? I mean, it's like, come on, man. You let people live their lives. Quit putting rules on people. And that's what's happening, is the astrology has been talking about how we're going to see all these crazy, it's going to be more control and more control and more control. And the closer we get to election, it's going to be fucking gnarly, folks. I'm trying to just, at this point, it is at a point that I am trying to get someplace safe for the winter, and just write it out for the winter and let the freaking nefarious fall, because it's going to get dark and it's going to be nasty, and because the evil have been revealed, so they're at that dashless effort, and the mighty haven't fallen yet. They're still out running Operation Eat People and whatever they do for their nefarious ways to serve Lucifer, the Lucy fairy tale. And so with all these electric cars and stuff, they don't even think about, think about all the batteries and crap and landfill that we haven't dealt with, right? What's up, bud? You fussy today? You fussy today? Are you fussy? Okay. We'll figure it out. You want on top of the blanket? What's up? You just need a minute? Just need a minute? Good dog. Did you get a little too hot in your core? Okay? Good. Good? Good. Just face plop. Here, you got my hoodie. It's hoodie weather. You got my hoodie right here. Whatever. You got the back. He always has my back. He lays onto my back. He's like, I don't know why you're bothering me. I just want to put my hand on your back. Okay. So with all these freaking battery operated cars, it's just like, you know what? That's one of the things. Let me tell you something about my background. I was an age ranger up. I only did 6 years. That's all I could muster. That's all I could stand in the freaking Swingin' Wieners Club. The Air Force. And so, I supported the flight line. We had bricks, radios, two-way radios. We taught, and we had carried over from when I was a little kid. Always two-way communique, your own secret language, codes, things like that, so other people wouldn't know what you're talking about. And people around you, they wouldn't know what's up, and then playing catch the flag and stuff, all that stuff, where you have people, this is how a lot of people, started out, and even the video games that people play are this in the same spirit. There's an outcome, a reward, there's a winner, the loser, all those paradigms and stuff like that. So anyway, it was a constant freaking ordeal with the freaking bricks all the time, because the batteries constantly died, and that's how they get you. And they're so expensive. But what happens is they constantly die, and ultimately all the batteries in all the world, they'd all die. All batteries die. And so the bigger batteries, the bigger the death. And what do you think? You think that's a clean death? You think batteries are just going to, where are they going to store all those batteries? Are they going to put... God. Are they going to put those in... the ocean? Just store them in dry storage someplace in the bottom of the ocean, all the batteries from all the cars and all the stuff that they want to make electronic and stuff like that? No. See, when unpractical people that don't even know they don't even do their own laundry, they don't do their own shopping, they don't live how everybody else on the planet lives, but they're coming up with ideas how everybody should live based on their lack of that was the funniest thing ever when that there's some politicians I've never heard their voices because I can't listen to what they say. I've only just started listening to DT speeches and stuff like that. But like that Pelosi, that chick, she's like that little decrepit thing in the Dark Crystal that dies. I can't ever remember what it's called, but that's what she reminds me of. And I hate her face. There ain't nothing. That woman, dude, if I could have as much money in life that she has spent on making her face look like that on purpose, you know, I'd be set up for life. Because my means are small, because I live within my means. And people that don't follow rules, they have no business making them up because they don't have any means to live within. And this bitch keeps bruising it. And she said she wonders how top Facebook employees can look at themselves in the mirror. How can you look in themselves in the mirror? God bless you, Beanie. Twice. Really? 3 times? Is you gonna meet your girlfriend? I've been gonna get a 3-time sneeze and meet my girlfriend, Marge. That's a sweet lady. Poor Beanie. Maybe do the sneeze for me 3 times? Good boy. Anyway, so she wonders how top Facebook employees can look at them in the face by doing the same shit that she does every day. See, that's the thing, is people, when you see things in other people that you hate about yourself, they are things that you hate about yourself. I said that all wrong. When you see things in other people that you hate, and you hate them for the way they act like that, that's just crap that you do, that you hate that you do. You just don't recognize that you do it because you're a hypocrite. And I've been a hypocrite for a long time. Anyway, I made a comment on Twitter. I don't comment a lot on Twitter, but when she said that, this was on somebody, I can't remember who posted it, but I said, replying to In the Matrix with like 3 X's. I said it's like shit calling crap brown. Heyoka. It is. It is totally shit calling crap brown, or crap calling shit brown, or whatever you want to call it. But that is what that is. That is cognitive dissonance at its ultimate. When people, dude, you can't act like you care about people and live your life in certain ways. You can't. The proof is in the pudding. You can't go, I care about people, and then feed. Literally feed off of disaster and famine. And all the Haiti stuff, it's freaking disgusting. Thank you, DT, for blasting out that darkness, man. And I know he is, because I got the same placement. I got 3 like major placements that are just like him, so I know how he thinks. So, what are they going to do with all those electric batteries that are wasted? Because, you know, and that dude, you know what's funny? You know what's funny about proof is in the pudding? I think people are given design in life, and design, you're given tells either people are going to be warm and receptive to you by ways of how you look, or they're just going to recoil you. I get recoiled a lot. My energy's hard. It's scary. I don't know, it's not. I'm 5'2", but people like dudes 6'4" will like walk right at me. It's a total power play. It's a total power play. The power players always come at me, and you know what? I don't budge. And then so who's the asshole? I'm like, what? You didn't see me? Do I need to designate road guards out in post in life? I mean, get the fuck out of here. You know, you're a dick. Watch where you're going. Dipshit. I mean, grown men do this shit. And the thing is you want a fucking power play? I will power play right back. Because people like them, because they cower. Because they're not used to people freaking sticking up for themselves. That's why they're bullies. I've been dealing with this shit my whole life. That's what I'm trying to do, is freaking combat the darkness with a little freaking light. Or standing in my own power. So, I think that people that look like muskrats, If it looks like a muskrat, look at the behavior of a muskrat. I pay attention to a lot of totem animals. Mom made mention of a ferret, so we went down an anthole yesterday about the ferret totem and what ferrets represent. And I'm like, well, that's kind of apropos right now, Mom. That kind of. Then we went down the apropos. Well, let's look up what apropos. Oh, it's kind of present and current for the situation right now. You know, it's how we just learn about stuff. So. We're ready for a new more. We're ready she's ready to not live the same day over and over too. She's really ready. She's ready to hang out with the girls. She's ready for her son to come visit. She's ready to have, similar experiences with new people and stuff like that. She's ready. She's wanting it. She's asking for it. So we're doing whatever. I'm like, Mom, I said, it's just not me that's looking. And that made me feel good this morning. I said, it's not just me that's looking. I said, I got all these people praying for us, Mom. And I got people that have helped contribute financially and in an energetic way in all kind of ways. And the flowers, they're still lovely. And I want to talk about those later. And it's not just me looking and calling every day on places. I'm not going to name names, but I'm going to count numbers. Like 6, 7 people that are active, 7 people that are 8 people that are just like, if you know anybody that have put feelers out. So that's 8 people that have been in that community since I've been gone. And since I've been becoming a credible person and trying to live in my integrity, they've been watching me because we've been, some of them we've been friends on Facebook, since school and stuff. So they know who I am. So, they can vouch for me, I hope, and my boys and Ma, and we're just trying to find a little trailer, just a little place in the sticks, about 30, 40, little drive into town, not too close, not too far, 15, whatever, but we'll get there. It's already happened. It just hasn't happened yet. It only takes a second to get a phone call we got a place for you, Marge. Anyway, so I was listening to JFK talks this morning. I love listening to that man talk. He's always been on my radar because they have a box with his voice on it, and I like the sound, like the cadence of his voice is always. It's just like I can zone out listening to his talks, and it was Weekend Warrior, I believe, that posted. Is it Weekend Warrior? I know I got a photo of it. No, I did get a photo of it. Of just this morning, I believe it was Weekend Warrior. Library, history. Weekend Warrior J.F. Kennedy's speech to the press at the Waldorf Astoria on April 27, 1961. And it's 59 years later. And it's pretty rad. It's all pretty rad. It's all pretty rad stuff. Anyway, so, because, yeah, his voice is on a box up at Whiskeytown Lake right outside of Reading. So, he's always been, and, you get to go up to the lake. You get to go up to Brandy Creek. It's a big day, Pack a lunch. Make sandwiches. Let's go. Lake's waiting. And I went up, and that was one of my first. I saw the tunnel of light, but it was beneath the surface. I almost drowned. But then I learned to swim. That's the thing, is scary stuff happens, and then you learn things to prevent the things. It takes the fear out of the water away if you know how to swim and handle yourself. And I was one of those that, because we had to go see Grandma for Dad's visitation every summer, so it was like, Grandma had to work and Grandpa didn't want us in his hair all day, so it was always like day camps and frickin' swim class and stuff like that. So jumping into the pool at frickin' 8 o'clock in the morning at Atascadero High School is never what I wanted to do, but I did it, and I learned how to swim, and Oh, yeah. Just conquering your fears. I was like, Mom, so do you think my life has been mostly chicken out, like choking? Because I choke. I'll chicken out. I'll be like, nah, I ain't doing it. That's too scary for me. I'm not going to do it. Nope, my operational risk management is kicking in, like things that I always wanted to do, but I'm just like, nah. Like when I was a little kid, Grandma had a laundry chute from the third floor. She had this really cool multi-level house, and the laundry chute went all the way from her bathroom, the master bathroom, all the way down to the basement, like 4 levels, like because it had like zigzag. It was a cool layout. I always been into architecture because she was into real estate, so I've always paid attention to houses and secret nooks and stuff like that because I know where to look. And I always want to go down the chute, and you could see it in the kitchen where it drops straight down, like I don't know, 18, 12, however many, like, because in parts of it is a slide, but I always wanted to see the parts in there that the clothes got to go on the ride, but people never got to see. And, and, I chickened out. I never did it, which is probably a good idea because I probably would have tumbled and broken my own neck. I am in Salem, Oregon, and I am trying to get to Northern California. To answer your question. Hi, Violet Moon. Something's not getting enough. I'm going to ignore that error message and go on around it. Keep going with my notes. Okay. So, 59 years later, and look at JFK talks, and yep. What goes around comes around, man, because the control freaks keep staying in a position of power. They keep hanging on to the reins and keeping people in a perpetuated vibrational state of fear. So people are scared, you can't think. That's why cops like beat and yell on their drums and stuff. They tried to do it in freaking when I was in basic training, but I was like as old as I was older than the sergeant, the airman that the senior airman that was that helped run the flight, so it's just like I knew it was all games and jokes, and I watched them freaking hitting on it was just a bros club, it's a professional, and I saw that, I had a really cool freaking stuff started Salgado, but I know that I know what his rank was, and I saw old pictures of him, and he had more rank before, so sometimes you get crap duty. Sometimes you got to do stuff you don't want to do because of things that you've done. Huh, Benno? My experience in the last 4 years, but my crap duty has also been based on my ego, by me hanging on to my own life and not giving it to God and letting God guide me and direct me in the course of action in which He intended me to go, not what I wanted to do. Because shit, man. If people realize how hard I worked to get into the Air Force, to do all that, and then get my education, because I'm like I was a spectrometer, Asperger's, whatever, they just called it retard back in the 70s. They didn't even care enough to put no nice clinical term on it, and what turned out to happen for me is I'm too smart for my own good, and I read people's energy, and I live by people's energy, not by how they look. Because the people that look good never felt good to me, and the people that everyone else that people think that they look like, the seedy side of society, I'm like, hey homie, what's up? I'm like, I see you feel good, But I get duped too, because people want you to believe that they're something that they're not. That's why freaking Netflix has shows like Lucifer that are freaking trending. It's disgusting. Where's the God stuff trending? So now you know what's happening, because the astrology is lining up in people, and people's chakra systems are becoming activated, and people are waking up to new knowledges, and they're just like tapping into frequencies, because the more people think about one kind of idea and thought, the more that thought comes reality. So the media, it's like, at this point, whatever they say, go opposite and start researching there. Where we go, when we go, we are all connected, It's just like, my mom used to do it she used people that straight up lie to your face, and I don't lie. Because I know that the truth has a vibrational frequency, and it always comes out. So, and then I think mom came into that realization too, and she don't lie no more either. So it's just like, you might as well live in truth. You're always going to hurt somebody's feelings. You might as well not hurt your own. You can't live for everybody. You're only living for your own narrative, your own, that between you and whatever God you're serving. And people have been serving a different God, not the high vibrational God. They've been serving the damned God, the nasty God. Yeah, that God, the God of hell. His own. Well, he's not even a God, but he's a high. I mean, he's an equal vibrational. He's just much darkness as God is light. That's all that there is to it. And it depends on how you're looking at it. But some people, most people, actually, I do believe more than 51% of the population at this point are identifying it more, because the earth has been created to feed on people and energy, life force energy, kundalini energy, to serve that more than it has to create heaven on earth. Because, I mean, look who's been winning for the last ever years, But now we're stepping into an old new age. We're going back to how things would have been, like the colonists would have come over and would have cooperated with the natives that were here. We have an opportunity, and there's some administration putting in place the light workers that are trying to make heaven on earth and peace on earth for the first time. And these are things that I've been trying to manifest for years and years. Like, go look at some of my talks, like Heyoka for president and stuff like that. Heyoka for president, that is what DT has been doing. And I've been one of those that has not wanted to give that man credit where credit's due, because I hated the ego aspects that he has, that I have in myself. But you know what? You know what happens? When you get to know yourself so well, and if you get into your birth chart and your astrology, it really, really perpetuates that knowing of yourself. It speeds things up. When you really get to know yourself and why everything that makes yourself tick, it sure does make it hard to get angry at other people when you know all the reasons why you get angry yourself. It really does ruin it for you. Makes it hard to be mad at people when you know all about yourself. And when you also know all about yourself, that doesn't allow any room for allowance for anybody else to tell you about you. Because my whole life people have been trying to tell me about me. You're so this, you're so that. And I'm like, my thoughts about what I'm thinking inside right now don't ever make me those words. But what I realized is as I got older, is that those people are telling me what they are. And I was like, okay, let them think that you are whoever you are, and just know that that's who they are. They're telling you that they're the representation that they have in themselves, and be wary. Huh, Beno? Yes. That's how you use energy. Social order, emotions. I love words, man. Words are just spells. And the thing of it is like my astrology thing, it's just like everybody, I don't even really, because the thing of it is I could use my words to manipulate people all the time. But there's negative karma that comes with that. And so it's like, yeah, I might reap the rewards, really playing the heart, no, that's all horseshit. People see right through that stuff. That's why I don't understand why people have paid so much into the systems that they have. And I was just like, because they condone the growth. They're doing the same dirty stuff because the money. But now the astrology is lining up where people are coming into their own heart space, and in that heart space, they're finding the people that they want to connect with. That's why, my channel is finally growing. Because poor people have to, they're not going to know the things I think about and wonder about and research if they're not freaking grounded in life too. So everybody's gotten grounded. Just some of us, same frequency. Like I've been hanging out in place as long as Julian is Assange. So I bet we have the same astrological alignments. And there's a lot of people in my chat that often like, I've been on hold for 3 years. I've been on hold. It's like I felt like my whole life was on hold for this, you know. And for Jean, she's mentioned before, and I feel the same way, that I thought the beginning of this year my life was gonna blow up. Like in a, like, you know, and it has blown up in a good way. But see, that's the thing, is I ain't a predictor. I mean, I know about potentials, and I know about psychology, and I know how people, oh yeah, you know, based on how they've always acted, they're probably going to act this way. You know, people are very predictable, and the older you get, people get stuck in patterns. And if they don't live outside these patterns, then you literally lose your ability to pick up new ways to have patterns. So that's why these systems have relied to keep people stuck in a pattern. So now DT shutting the whole world up. He's cleaning out the tunnels. He's freaking saving kids. He's exposing all these freaking Luciferi nasty dude, and he's doing it with shade. I love the way that man. I throw shade like that guy. Because I won't act like, if I don't like you, I ain't gonna act like I like you. I ain't gonna play nice. I ain't gonna, you know, we ain't gonna do all the niceties. I'm just gonna be, I say that to the, you know, there's a guy that got, last time that happened and he was like, we were at the opposite end of the spectrum, we'll say that, and I just said, you know what, sir, what I recognize is you and I don't have a whole lot in common, so I'm gonna bid you a good day. Because I just know myself, and I'm just gonna like, I'm gonna be curt, and I'm gonna be so. It's just easier to get out of a situation or stay out of a situation than get out of one. And he was all offended, and he kept trying to talk to me, and I'm just like listening to my music, doing my laundry. I just tune people out because people have been tuning me out my whole entire life. We just ain't the same vibe, you know. We don't gotta be mad about it, and you don't gotta change my mind, and I don't gotta change your mind, you know. And sometimes, hey, when people aren't the same vibe, they're the ones that are, you know, but I mean, he like was completely like our belief system, and he's just a creeper. He's a creeper. That's what he was, and I didn't really want to hang out with the creeper that particular time, so I opted out. You can always opt out. Social out of order, social disorder. You all right? You need the pillow? Let me get the pillow. Here. Go. There. Go ahead. Pillow's there. Go ahead. Go ahead. There you go, bud. Flop. There you go, bud. That Zymox stuff is a freaking godsend. Thank God for my supporters. My tube support. My tubal support. Cause I don't know everything. I don't ever claim to know things, and I hate when people call me a know-it-all. Oh, I do not like when people call. And last time someone called me a know-it-all, I unfriended him, and we'd been friends for like 30 years or something. I'm just like, no, I'm not. And if you think, people think that I know everything, then I'm not doing a very good job of representing myself and my faith to God, that God works through me. I'm like a puppet on a God planetary string with my emotions, and okay, don't be a dick, Marge, D-dick, Marge, D-dick. So okay, emotions. I was thinking of, because I grew up around Shasta Dam. I know a lot about engineering and how things work. And when I was in the Air Force, it's all about supply chain, man. Everything's about supply chain. I was talking to my father figure, and he's replacing the... I freaking twisted it up in my... and I kept repeating it like a weird kid. Tractor pumps. It's bull something. It's a big part. It's like... it's not bull. I can picture it in my mind. I can picture the part on the it's the combine. It's the part that I believe holds the rack in place. I think I'll get back to you on that. I'm gonna elaborate on that later. Anyway, but big farm, there's not like big private farmers a whole lot anymore because the big guy, the hogs, hogged it all up, just made mega everything, and then their standards became so. And it's all a deal. It's all at Bros Club. But see, that's a beautiful part about the earth, the land going back to how it should have been, is that it's all going to be community and local. Everything's going to be about local. And I was talking to him, and I was like, so, and he's freaking fourth, fifth generation on this farm. Understand? Okay, so that goes back. I mean, you think about, he's an imprint there. Okay, he is gold to me. He is my favorite person next to Mom. I love that man. Anyway, I go on and on about him on the stuff that he can teach me. That's, when I get Mom situated, I'll be able to get to go back and hang out on the farm and help him do projects and stuff for a week or two. Yeah. Or what, I'll drive back, put up a little fenced area, whatever, maybe, hopefully, if they'll let me, and be able to learn. And then I teach, and then whatever I learn, I pass on to whoever needs to learn it about excavating, farming. I mean, and I've already picked up a lot of knowledge about soil and water purity, and this is what I've been a survivor my whole life, and you got to collect data about surviving and statistics. The part that fell well to me is people. Is because people have we all got shadow sides, and sometimes people aren't for your good, and people like me, I'm all for people's good. I don't want to hurt nobody and all that stuff, so I think that most of the world ain't like that, but the reality is most of the world is like that. And then you put fear in the equation, then they're really gonna they'll do whatever they want to you, so this tractor part that, and people don't, and that's, I mean, when I buy cars, like, that's why I'm excited about this big red truck, because it was an engine swap, so emissions are down because it came out of a car. So when I take it back to California, the emissions are going to be low, so I don't think it'll be, because they have so many stupid rules. It's like, you got to pay for them in their $10,000 suits to make up rules, and they don't follow the rules, and they don't know what it's like, and they're still making their same amount, and everybody's working from home. So what are you doing with all that free space, that free office space? Why don't you make those dorms? Let the homeless people live in those. And the thing of it is I've been IT because I planned my whole life to give myself, that's why I went into age, to give myself all those, professional training. It's a tech school, fast forward tech school for all the systems that I need to know. And then I use that to get a college education in computer systems. And so I do I do it all. Networking, I do it, all of it. I do the troubleshooting. I do the infrastructure. I'm always looking up for, what's the best setup. I'm all about security, or teaching people how to be secure within themselves, so we don't have to freaking pay through the nose to pay other people to make us feel safe. We're supposed to self-govern, but there are people that don't, so that's why we have the police systems. We're supposed to self-govern, but there are people that don't, so that's why we have militaries. But we're supposed to self-govern, but there's people that don't, so that's why they created churches and organized religion and all that stuff. All to cipher your attention to keep you away from the stuff that matters, and that is the love stuff. That's hanging out with your family, that's cooking good food, that's enjoying yourself. That's not freaking satanic cult rituals in the freaking, by the pale moonlight on specific days, the same days that white witches are doing their thing. But then people are like, what, are we going to have another witch burning? You can't. See, that's the thing, is people aren't getting all these, the dastardly are coming out, but who is going to stand up to be the ones that are going to forgive the dastardly? Because it's in the forgiveness is what's going to send the earth, not just be like, you're a freaking evil, dirty pedo and you're going to die. It's that hate. They're still winning. See? they still win. If you hang them up and string them in the streets and, do terrible, they still are winning because the hate still is existing and living. But if you find forgiveness in them and know that they are just a no vibrational being in this incarnation, empty all the freaking, how come there's still people on weed charges in prisons? I mean, all of the seedy shit is coming down, and it's coming down so fast that people's heads are going to spin, and cognitive dissonance is suicides are only going to get worse because because a lot of this stuff is going to be accidental. Come on, Hardy Pants. A lot of it is because people are trying to escape from their own realities, their situations. So they're going to take more drugs. They're going to take, instead of putting the energy forth to use your energy to change your situation and literally change your reality every day, to do something, make today different than it was yesterday. Literally. Or just stay, in that same perpetual freaking downward spiral of, not everybody cares about money. People always say money don't buy happiness, and look at all the freaking nut jobs, that people have paid so much money to that are freaking falling apart. Psychologically, because their egos aren't getting fed. That darkness isn't getting fed, and they're just like, look at me, look at me, look at me. Speaking of, am I about 30 minutes? I'm at 41. I've been running my mouth. I got it. See, I like keeping it in check. I'm starting to go too long now. I don't like it. So I'm gonna finish up my notes. Dam. So knowing about excavation. I grew up around Shasta Dam, and my mom was friends with a woman named Old Fox. She's the first woman that worked for the dam on the crew in the kitchen, and and I know there's dead people in the dam. I mean, there's people that are encapsulated forever in the dam. I mean, all that, you live local, about local stories, and there's a lot of, yeah. Anyway, they want to make it taller, and they want to do this and do that, and it's just like, do you guys keep the freaking debris and stuff cleaned up off of it, Because what they don't realize is there's so much driftwood and stuff that that's just weight on the dam on top of the water that's on it. And so if you guys clear that stuff off, it reduces stress and stuff like that. And they don't even do that. See, they just pay themselves to pass around these big hats to say, okay, give us all your money because we got to take care of all this shit. What we're finding out, they may have been taking care of shit, and freaking whole cities are burning down. Oh, and I was talking about, this was a realization of what people do because people live like this way. See, bad things don't just happen to good people all the time. Okay, what we sow we reap, and there's a lot of fire destruction in the last few weeks that have happened up here in Oregon. Okay. Understand? When I was telling, because I'm so excited about the big red truck, I fixed her problem. I got a new lock gas cap for her, and she ain't sucking air no more. And so I get signed off on gas caps now. If there's a badge for gas cap troubleshooting, I got mine. So she's running strong, and I put some Supreme premium gas in her, and she's like, all right, let's go, let's do this. I swear she got a Cadillac heart in her. And, yeah, I would love to live around Mount Shasta. I would love, and I tried to get a hold of a commune. Oh, I'm sorry, we can't help you. Yeah, I know. You're not for profit. It's just bullshit, man. It's just all bullshit. People that act like and that's the biggest disappointment because they really don't get, so most of the time I don't even ask people, so I'm getting really good at asking people though right now. So when I went to I took a load up to the dump. I'm getting rid of stuff. I've been downsizing, and now I'm just like downsizing more. And to keep my hands from being idle, because that's when I start getting, and then I got to give it to God. And God's like, go do something, lazy bones. And so I took a trip out to the dump, and it was like late in the day. And usually I go where I'm right there about 8, little around 8, and I'm probably 2, 3 in line. It's been my experience before, but today it was late in the day, and I was like down the hill. But it took probably like 15 minutes to wait my turn to go in, maybe, And but I was testing the new gas cap, so I didn't care. So I was like on a hill, I was doing all the most extreme things I could actually, testing the gas cap because I just got it. So I was like, all right, I guess if it's a gas cap, you know, or otherwise, I don't know. This is it, you know. So I was like on a hill and idle and, you know, all this stuff, and I got some pretty cool video of this bee hornet thing, Marge thing. It's thing. I mean, he was freaking cool. I got some pretty cool as I was stopping waiting because he was just hanging out with me on the other side of my windshield, and then he flew off right when I got to the gate. But I was like, "Thanks for hanging out, man." And but they're all. What I noticed is because I notice everything. I'm like, look at all these trucks with all these mattresses in it. Because I just got this twin mattress, and it costs like it's like $230 or something like that. But I had to downsize from my king. I don't want to have stuff that I can't carry myself, you know. So I got this twin. It's pretty funny. Me and 3 dogs on a twin. That's the only, because there's always one that doesn't. No, we're not going to do 4 dogs ever, but we could do it. I don't get to move around much, but we could do it anyway. So I'm really getting, you know, because we might live in a 5th wheel. Who knows? If we get out, you know, as long as I'm used to living in small spaces, as long as it's surrounded by wide open spaces, I'm okay. But if it's a small space and surrounded by city, then I'm gonna vibrate and bounce all over the place. I got too much PTSD for that shit, those society don't want to deal with me in those conditions anymore, and I don't deserve to live in them anymore. I deserve some peace and quiet, my own little space with mom. So I noticed all these mattresses in the back of these trucks. I was like, man, I wish there's nothing, and this stuff wasn't like burned up, but all these trucks and trailers too, just full of shit. And so, and see, this is the side of stuff that even I don't know about, that I'm educated on. When I was talking to my dad, he's like, when these natural disasters happen, you know, everybody knows they got insurance. So they just freaking throw everything away because they just, you know, call it a total loss. But it ain't a loss, and that's lying. And then I think about the day-night donut place, you know, that everybody loves their donuts, and everybody loves their biscuits and gravy. It's cheap when you got the drunken hungries and stuff, like, you know, all that stuff. You know, everybody loves it. Used to be Dunkin' Donuts. Used to be owned by an old man. I don't even remember his name. He has one of those like 67 Plymouth car show guys, you know, more money than God, you know, just, you know how he got all of his money is that there's a rocket factory down in Auburn, Oregon, see, where they make rockets. So when they perpetuate, like when back in my false flag bullshit, Iraqi bullshit happened, it was to empty out all the warehouses that they filled up from their bros that made gazillions of dollars, because this guy had more. And because he invited me, I noticed his car show, or his car, so we started talking, and then he was like in car show, so we kind of befriended each other. I was friends with him on Facebook for a minute, and then I was like, no, I can't know this guy. I can't. He ain't someone I'm supposed to know. So I severed that tie. And I still see him all over the place, because Salem was in a big city, only 167,000 people in this town. I mean, you see the same reruns. I mean, we live in a loop. Everything is, people have the same pattern. So so I don't like seeing the same people all the time. So I mix my stuff up all the time. So I don't want to get stuck in no loop. And he would brag about it, because that's what they do when they have that much money. They just brag about how they freaking inconvenience other people by having the money that they have. And one of the ways he did that is he wanted a garage built for his son with a lift and everything. I'm sure it's exactly how the one I have pictured in my right setup space, how if I could have everything I wanted, it would be like this, because I've been planning it since I was a little girl, strategizing since I was a little girl, you know, with the lift, or the one that just something you can, you know, stand freely under the vehicle without laying under the vehicle. It's just a lot easier to work on shit. So, I like the ones that were like the pits that you can walk under too. That's kind of all right. Anyway, I like lifts too. Big hoist. I'm used to freaking pulling huge ass engines and shit out of like aircraft air conditioners, which are huge. So you gotta use hoists and shit like that. You gotta plan. You can't just go, oh, put this on here and pull it out. You know, you got, if you pull us on this, are you going to pull up a horde, you know, is it going to get caught over here? You got, there's clearance, and then you got the whole instruction books you got to look into, and oh, it's just all so much. So, I'm getting off track. Oh, so he's like, yeah, that's the racket. He's like, they just call it a total loss. And he's like, he talked about a guy that lived down by the river, and he knew the river was gonna flood, so he put all of his stuff in storage, and then he'd go down to like Salvation Army or something like that, and like buy a bunch of crap technology, like junk stuff, and then like say that all of his TVs and electronics and, you know, got all this extra money. It just cause lies. And there's people that live like that more than they're not. And then you have us that are living more in truth, more than we're living it. Well, because ain't nobody tell the truth 100% of the time. Ain't nothing 100% of the time all the time. We all got our shadow sides, and sometimes people gotta lie to get their way, you know. And I try not to, but look at me. I haven't had running water in 3 years, so wouldn't that be a good testament that I've tried to live for, you know? And people just, it's because of the city. It's because of the city. It's because somebody somewhere doesn't want to turn a knob, and that's all that it comes down to. And they have it, and they let their project go because now there's probably people don't go in the office, so I mean stuff don't get scheduled, so the stuff it gets let go and falls through the cracks all over the place, you know. But what's going to happen is more people are going to start thinking like me, and just let the people that live by the stream, if you know, let them freaking trim the area and maintain it and stuff like that, and then don't, you know, and nobody should have to pay for water because you guys don't own it, you know. Nobody owns anything. And then you have these swinging wieners and these control system hierarchical ideologies that come in and say, but there's something that's better than everything else, and that ain't how it is we're all aspects of Creator God, and ain't nobody better than anybody else. So it's that divide that's kind of having its last spiritual war right now. When people play dark, I don't know what that's about. That's another quote I wrote, but it's not sinking in, and I've been running my mouth too long right now as it is. So I think I'm going to call it. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. I'll be back. I don't know. I might come back depending on the chores I get done, and it's a rainy day and stuff like that. I might be back once, twice. It seems like more folks are tuning in. You know, people are tuning in. Congratulations on Divided We Fall, on growing. I know what it's like, man. It's taken me 4 years to not even get 1,000. So you're gonna grow a lot quicker than me, man, because people are ready to receive this stuff. They ain't been ready to receive anything I gotta say. They ain't ready for it. So that's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.